Patrick, you see a loose puck and no goaltender in a net. What's the immediate thought that's in your head in that situation?
Put the puck in the net. Just trying to force the play, skate as fast as I can up the ice and apply some pressure. And I haven't really seen the highlight or exactly what happened. I just know there was a collision, and I found myself with a heck of an opportunity. So make sure you put that one in.
Patrick, did you feel like you were due for something like that after the tough stretch you've endured?
I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest with you. You hear Joel say all the time, we don't really care where the goals come from, and that's an honest quote. We're just happy the goals are going in, and we're playing a good team game. I feel playing up on the top line with Johnny and Marion, they're unbelievable players to play with, getting the puck and some better opportunities. But, whatever my role is on the team, I'm just going to try to do it the best I can.
Down here in front, guys. Antoine, can you talk about your journey here with the Hawks? The adjustment at first, it seemed like it was a struggle, and now 3 game-winning goals in the last 2 rounds. It feels like you're more used to being part of this team now.
Yeah, you're right for sure. This is right after get-go was a great opportunity for me, and I want to make the best out of it. This is a good group, obviously special team, and I'm glad I'm here and try to help the team. So this is a lot of fun right now, but there's a lot of work still ahead.
Over here to the right.
Antoine, when a team gives up a prospect and a first-round pick for a guy at the deadline, like a team like the Blackhawks that's obviously got Stanley Cup in mind, is there ever any pressure that falls on the player, like yourself in this case, to maybe live up to, that trade?
I never really thought about that way, but I could see you could see it that way. As a player, you always put a lot of pressure on yourself. Just that you try to bring your best foot forward every time you're stepping on the ice there.
Corey, with there just being so little between the teams, how relieved were you just that your turnover didn't end up in the net?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part of that.
Just how relieved were you that your turnover didn't end up in the net, which knowing so little bit between the teams?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to turn a puck over for a goal, and it's pretty close. I was able to get back and just get a piece of it, but it wasn't a smart play, but luckily it just didn't go in the net.
Patrick, you've been part of both Cup champions in 2010 and 2013. How much of that experience factored in a game like tonight when you guys realized what was at stake? And
I guess it's a factor, the experience, whether it's winning championships or just playing a number of playoff series over the last few years. You got to find ways to win, find ways to fight out victories, and whether it's the guys that have been here with those championships or the new players like Vermette and some other young guys that are stepped up, it seems like everybody's on the same page and we got the same goal in mind, that's for sure.
Antoine, you were brought in to be a difference maker. Is this what you were expecting of yourself, or maybe beyond that?
I was hoping to, having an effect positively on the game at that point, obviously. But that being said, if it comes with goals, great. If not, the details of the game matter so much. We talk about at that point. It makes a big difference. And like Patrick mentioned, you want to focus on the team structure and the team play. And if we do that yeah, thanks, buddy. I'll try to keep going in English. French later. Eventually, good things would happen, but it came down with goals, which is great. You take it, but I think it's more about the focus on the process and the way you establish your game and play the details of the game.
And Corey, it's been pretty simple. You hold them to 1 goal, you guys win. Is that the feeling? If you can keep the score that low, that's enough for you guys to take it?
I mean, tonight was a pretty solid effort by everyone, especially the third period. Once we got that goal, everyone was coming back hard, and we were able to keep things out of the slot. Any rebounds or plays into the slot, guys were there to get in, clear it. So just a great team effort, I think, at the end of it.
Corey, talk about being 1 win away from a Stanley Cup, the ride that you have gone on since the beginning of this playoff series to right now.
I mean, I think you go through the ups and downs, obviously every playoff run, and didn't start out the way I wanted, but was able to stay with it. And it's been great up to this point, and with the chance we have now to go back to our building and have that game in our building, I think everyone's pretty excited about it. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. We got a lot of work to do here, and it's going to be an even harder battle.
Take three more. Go ahead. Antoine, besides just scoring, what do you think was working so well for your line tonight, where you were able to make it a positive impact at 5-on-5?
Well, we've been talking about in this series the skill and the speed on both teams with reason. I think there's a great amount there on both sides, but I think we underestimate maybe the capacity of playing defensively. And to come back to your question, as a line, we try to focus, to move our feet and be in the right position and try to minimize time when they have the puck and close it as quick as we can. And it's something we keep remembering ourselves. Try to play with speed and being effective defensively, and hopefully things will usually come up on the right side from that.
Patrick, in the fourth game, you guys are having a tough time getting out of your zone. They were putting the pressure on, pinching in. Tonight, it seemed like you guys were able to get out of the zone a little bit better. And was there an adjustment made? Is there something there that was the difference between the previous game and this game which allowed you to get out of that zone and get going?
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything major. It comes down to a lot of puck battles, a lot of one-on-one battles. Putting in the puck in an area for your teammate to make a better play. They do a good job of smothering you in all three zones, really, not just the defensive zone, but they apply pressure everywhere. So, the idea is to get better and better as the series goes on for both teams. I think both teams have done that, and we'll see what happens next couple of games.
Last one, English. Go ahead.
Patrick, the Blackhawks haven't won a Stanley Cup on home ice since 1938. You're a guy that was there in the bad times and then gone through some really great times. Can you reflect a little bit on what it might mean for the people of Chicago to be able to see you guys, if you can do it on Monday night, do it on home ice?
We'll talk about that if it happens on Monday night, but I can tell you that our fans back in Chicago are extremely passionate. You guys have been in the city throughout the series. You see the red jerseys. You see the support that we have behind us, and the United Center is a big building. We pack it every night, so whether it's a preseason game, a playoff game. So can't wait to get back there and use that energy. I know it filters down through the team, and as these guys have mentioned earlier, we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. Enjoy the process.